Hey guys, looking at a quick little lesson on how to put and locate decimal fractions on a number line. I know number lines, blur, but how good are decimal fractions? I love them. I know people are getting pretty good at them, but some people are making some pretty common mistakes. So I just want to go over a couple of tips and tricks for how you can go about making sure you put them in the exact right place, because it always comes down to a little bit of like, if you kind of put it in the right place, but then someone else is able to put it in using math, sort of put it in a better place, then yours doesn't look as good. This is not off to a good start. So I've got on my screen a number line, and I've been asked to show where would I put 0.65. Now, a lot of people in their stepping stones book were just doing this. They're going 0.65, right, I reckon that goes about there. And that's okay, but if you get it wrong or slightly wrong, then you really have no working out. So I want to show you how you can actually do working out to come up with your answer. Now, I'm obviously recording on my computer screen, so there's not too much I can do, but I could take out a ruler and measure how long it is from 0 to 1 and then divide that into 10. So split it up into tenths. Instead, I'm going to try to do it freehand. So if I make a mistake, just pretend they're all even, okay? So the best way to start is pick the middle point. So the middle point's about here. So I know that at that spot is going to be 0.5. Now I can put in other markings to show my working out if I want, but really I've shown my teacher, I've shown the person who's standing over my shoulder watching me that I know to work out where 0.65 goes, I've first got to establish where halfway is, and then I'm going to say that, let's say, so up to here is 0.5, so let's say that's 0.4, that's 0.3, that's 0.2, that's 0.1. That looks kind of even, except for this bit here is a bit big. So then if I put a jump roughly that big here, I know that that's 0.6. And if I put another one in, I know that that's 0.7 roughly. And I know that 0.65 is 65 hundredths. So it's got 6 tenths, and then 65 hundredths would be between 6 tenths and 7 tenths. So I know that that's going to be located around about here. I know that 0.65 is roughly there. I've probably gone a bit too high looking at it now, actually. Halfway probably should have been a bit more down here. So if you make that mistake, like leaving it right here, I actually don't think I've done that great a job. So what I should do is rub out all of my work and instead go back and say, well, you know what? I don't think that was halfway. I think halfway is more likely here, which would make 0.6 more likely here, which would make 0.65 more likely here. And then if I go back and write in those key numbers that I used to come up with my answer, then this becomes my working out. So it's not complicated algorithms or sums or anything, it's just that. The other hard thing you get sometimes is you'll be given a number like this, 1.504, and you'll be asked to draw that on a number line. Now, because it's one whole, I think people get really confused as to what to do. See these arrows on the end of our number line? That says that it's continuing in either direction. So there are numbers lower than it, even up here. There are numbers lower than 0, negative numbers. There are numbers greater than 1, most numbers. So you don't always have to have a number line that goes from 0 to 1. If you're making your own and we're trying to put 1.504 on there, so that's one whole and 504 thousandths, you can start your number line at one whole and finish it at 2 wholes. Then if you're trying to put 1.504 on, you're going to know that 1.5 is pretty much exactly halfway between 1 and 2. Well, it is exactly halfway between 1 and 2. So find your halfway point. And then 4 thousandths, remember, thousandths are like this big. They are teeny tiny little bits. So 4 thousandths is going to be pretty much as close as I can humanly draw to that 1.5. And I would write on there 1.504. If you wanted to, I know some people like to do this. So if you wanted to do it this way, you can do this instead. You can start at 0, you can end at 2, and you can put one whole halfway along. Now I know that halfway between 1 and 2 is going to be 1.5. So I put my halfway jump in here. I'd write down that this is 1.5, and then pretty much right here, as close as possible next to it, I would write down 1 whole and 504 thousandths. That's pretty much it when it comes to identifying numbers and writing numbers on decimal fractions on a number line. Just be really careful. I think some people are reading a number like this and they're going, oh, okay, 504 thousandths. That's before 1. It's about halfway. I'm going to put it here. Pay attention to the whole before you look at what hundredths, tenths, or thousandths that it's in. Hopefully that's clarified it a bit. Like I said in class today, I'm pretty sure everyone is feeling pretty confident with it. Keep practicing, and hopefully you'll do well. I need to sign off these videos better. Enjoy.